I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knowledge of paths causes those helping migrators that achieves the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue by expand a variety of teachings. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by artisan benefits sentient beings, the teachers who guard and protect her to your my prostrations, the one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations, and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, I to you, the Buddha, make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha shramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. Meaning of the mantra: all phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, as the session causes as well as taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite. Such is the nectar dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to words. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unsees and has the nature of space, is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, are be obeisance. The forces of the Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are the nature of suffering. All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcendent sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of all everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings from miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of expansive billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. Spiritual realization does not transfer to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered miseries glow. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Okay, we will read the 37 practices of the Bodhisattvas. Which page is that? Oh, let's read this one. Okay. Okay, 37. There are two options. One is the 37 practice of Bodhisattvas. Yeah, that's better. 141. Okay, the author of this composition, he 141, page 141. The author of this text, Geshé Thomas, Geshé meaning the Bodhisattva. He is being his life stories is extremely fascinating. When he was just like age, it's like 6, 7, 8. He was born in a family of nomads, meaning that they have the fur dress, very cold, and in the winter, one winter, he went out to refresh himself, little boy, and coming back, he was naked. The fur cloth, the small fur cloth, was not there. He came naked in the house, and the parents, the brothers, sisters, everybody, they was confused. What happened to your where's your chuba? Chuba meaning the dress. And he was not saying anything. And they went out to look for his chuba, and finally they found the chuba on a bush. And they were saying, what must be there in the bush? So they took out the chuba, and they saw a small spider there. So this little boy, he was thinking that I'm a big guy, but still I feel so cold, and this tiny guy, he has no clothes, he must be feeling cold. So he gave his chuba to this tiny guy, to the spider. So this is a compassion that he demonstrated, this is author. And also that one time that he was being led by his uncle. And there was a storm, huge storm, very violent, the storm. And of course with the storm, all the leaves, they will be just the carried away in the air, sky. And this boy started to look at the sky, seeing these leaves being taken, flying in the air. So this boy started to cry and scream. And the uncle knew that this boy is very special. He's crying not for any other reason. There's a reason. The reason is that he must be feeling compassionate, thinking that these leaves are birds. That the birds, they become violently tossed in the air by this wind. So this boy was feeling compassionate, and he was crying. And the uncle would say that, "Stupid boy, stop crying, these are not birds, these are leaves." Then the boy would be very calm and peaceful and happy. So this is the demonstration of compassion of this little boy at the age of like 6, 7, 8. And so how come that this boy demonstrated this amount of the intense compassion for the creatures? This is like what you find some of the little boys and girls. Even today, nowadays, you can see, nowadays is not a story, you can actually see them, watch them, with the video clips of how they demonstrate these, compassion towards animals and so forth. Even though you're born in a family where the animals are cut into pieces like, the potatoes, but this child never saw such compassion, but she demonstrated such compassionate act. So where did they get from? From the past life. It's not that from the family trees. No, with the family trees, most likely not. Family genetically speaking, most likely not. For example, Mozart, genetically speaking, where did he get this? Where did he get the skill of the music? From the, if you go track back in time till 0.3 million years ago, the Homo sapiens, to closer go to was 0.3 million years ago, more the gross, no sense of music. And yet this boy demonstrated incredible sense of music, skill in composing music at the age of 4 or 5. So where did this, the being a genius come from where? So he's come from the previous life. So if we practice compassion in this life, no doubt we'll demonstrate the same compassion in the future lives. As a little boy or as a little girl, you can demonstrate the same thing. So this is how we can expect to go. Gade para samgade bodhiswaha. And also that in a life we have everybody has some form of challenges. And then say one thing that we can really think of making good use of one's life, you, myself, all of us, is to look for good examples. Good examples, say for example, if I'm lazy, right? Look at people, this is a problem with me. Laziness, you don't get anywhere. Laziness, if somebody is lazy, you will not get anywhere. You cannot be a good footballer. You cannot be a good athlete. You cannot be a good physician. You cannot be a good engineer. You cannot be anything. You'll end up nowhere. But this laziness is not your true nature. So we can't get rid of this. And this laziness is torturing you, is abusing you, abusing me, abusing us. So we can get rid of this. How to get rid of this laziness? One thing, easiest thing to do is look around who is not lazy. You're getting it? Look around. Look at Sonamla. Early morning, he's already here. Right? We are supposed to be here at 7 o'clock. He's already here by 6:30, 6:15. He's already here. You getting it? He's already here. And Rajinder, poor Rajinder, he come from outside, not from Deer Park. From outside he was coming. He's already playing the loud music. Bhutam, Sharanam, Gachami, get up, don't be lazy. Right? He already came, like 5 o'clock. He already came here. Right? So our job is, the best thing is, of course, don't force ourselves. If force ourselves, things don't work under gun. Things work only with love and affection. Be loving to yourself. Don't force yourself. How to be loving? Don't force yourself. Make things happen in a very natural way, but in a wise way. But naturally meaning that, okay, I'll wait, something will happen, magic tomorrow. It'll never happen. So we have to make it happen. That is known as a wise way. Wise way. How wise way? One thing, easiest thing to do is look at around you. Look at the people around you. And see who are the ones who are not lazy. Who are the ones who love the knowledge. Who are the ones who are compassionate? Just look at these people. Look at the people. When you see somebody who is not lazy, just ask, what makes the person not lazy? What makes me lazy? What makes this person compassionate? What makes me not compassionate? What makes this person so passionate about learning, not wasting time? What makes me somebody who wastes time a lot, all after the gadgets? Right? So just compare and contrast. Compare and contrast should not be the reason to feel yourself as so low. I'm hopeless, I'm bad. No. This is not your true nature. You have to know that you have true nature so pure. It is. What is laziness? Laziness is nothing that these are the feelings. They are two things. For example, okay, tomorrow we are going to remember tomorrow we're going to remember the 5 levels of emptiness, 5 levels of selflessness, right? 5 levels of selflessness. And the only time that you have is early morning. Early morning, okay, 2 choices. Either I get up and remember these, recite these five levels, or I keep in the cozy bed, right? Two choices. So whichever the feelings associated with whichever the two is more intense, pleasant feeling is intense, that will decide what you to do. And if you're feeling that, oh, I get up, then I recite I learn the 5 levels of selflessness, I have something to say in the class, then my whole day will be meaningful, my whole retreat will be meaningful. If you can think this much with broad, I say, the discrimination, then the feeling will be very broad. And then instead of that, if you cannot think of this, okay, just learn it by heart, that, yeah, it'll be good. It's a feeling, and pleasant, then it'll feel good means pleasant feeling. And oh, in the cozy bed, pleasant feeling. If the feeling that you feel with being in cozy bed, that is bigger, more pleasant than the other one, then you will be in the cozy bed. And then you get up, you regret. I didn't learn these 5 levels. And then you can learn it. You will know it. You can know this. But you don't know this because you're in the bed. So when it comes out, then gradually you distance yourself from doing good things. So distancing yourself from good things and sliding away from good things, shaking away from good things, going into the easier things, this is known as the laziness. This is not your true nature. This is not your true nature. So we have to, don't let the laziness, the other things, to bully you. These are bullying us. These are bullying us. So the thing is that, finally let your true nature come out. We should be wise. I should be wise. You should be wise. We all should be wise. Let the true nature come out. Try your best. Even though your bad tendencies of the past life, this life, the bad tendencies just have a grip on us. But still you try to throw away the bad tendencies to the best you can. It's not that you can throw away the bad tendencies overnight. But let's try our best to do that. At least when you are in such beautiful environment where the Dharma practitioners, people who are from Dharma, people who have inclination towards Dharma, people who have inclination towards doing something good. So just watch them. This is a great opportunity. So this group, if you are to really look for such group in your community, you will not find this. Because this group is a deliberate kind of creation where they say in every community there is 1, 2, 3 good people out of thousands. So these people, they see Deer Park program. And then they are like a magnet, they're all brought together. This is how this group came to being. It's not that such group is what you find everywhere, wherever you go. You will not find this group. So therefore we take the maximum use of this in order to say no. In order to say no to the arbitrary or to the adventitious, the habits. These are not your true habits. The true habit is unconditional love, the infinite wisdom, and the infinite potential. So why do we have to surrender to these bad habits? Why? So we have to discover your true nature. And then you will feel proud of yourself. Everybody will be proud of you. You can benefit so many people. The first person to be proud of you will be your parents. They will be so proud of you. Why should we not make your parents so happy, who love you so much, and yet they worry about us all the time? Why don't they? Even if they passed away, in my case, both my parents passed away. My mother passed away when I was just 5 years old. So in this life, try your best to do something good, that your mother, whether she is already taken birth somewhere else, or she's with a God, or in the hell realm, or whatever the belief system that you might have, if she comes to know that her little boy or little girl is doing something very worthwhile, something meaningful, she should be feeling so happy and proud of you. Why not we do that? Okay, so this is what the we don't do, and the 37 practices of the Bodhisattvas, which we're reading now, page 141. So this is incredibly great, like a mirror for us. Mirror for us. What we are doing, the bad habits will be seen there. And how to undo these bad habits will be seen there. This is so beautifully presented here, and this is incredibly great panacea for healing us and to uncover the beautiful Buddha energy within us. Okay, with this in mind, let's turn to page 141. 37 Practices of Bodhisattva by Gelsé Thomas Sangpo. Namo Logeshvaraya. Logeshvaraya means the Buddha of compassion, Araba Logateshvara. You see that all phenomena neither come nor go. Now look, emptiness starts with emptiness. Neither come nor go, meaning that in the ultimate the analysis, objectively, there's no going, there's no coming. There's all like illusion. Let's read this again. Namo Logeshvaraya. You see that all phenomena neither come nor go. Still you strive solely for the benefit of beings. Supreme Guru and Protector of Avalokiteshvara. To you I continually bow with body, speech and mind. The perfect Buddhas, the source of benefit and happiness, arise from practicing the genuine Dharma, which in turn depends on knowing how to practice. So I'll explain the Bodhisattva's practices. Now that you have obtained this precious human birth, the great boat so difficult to find. Let's read this together, all stuff together. Now that you have obtained this precious human birth, the great boat so difficult to find, in order to free yourself and others from the ocean of samsara, listening, reflecting and meditating with diligence day and night is a practice of Bodhisattva. Passion towards friends churns like water. Hatred towards enemies burns like fire. Through the darkness of ignorance, one forgets what to adopt and what to reject. To abandon one's homeland is the practice of Bodhisattva. Giving up inhospitable places, mental afflictions gradually decrease. With no distractions, virtuous activities naturally increase. When mind becomes clear, conviction in the Dharma is born. Therefore, seeking solitude is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Friends and relatives acquainted for long will separate. Possessions gained with exertion will be left behind. Consciousness, a guest will leave the guest house of a body to let go of this life is the practice of a Bodhisattva. When due to friendship with someone, the three poisons increase, degrading the activities of listening, reflecting, meditating, and destroys loving kindness and compassion. To give up such a friendship is the practice of a Bodhisattva. When relying on someone, your negativities diminish, and your positive qualities grow like a waxing moon. To cherish such a spiritual friend more than your own body is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Themselves captives in the prison of samsara, whom can the worldly gods protect? Therefore, to seek refuge in the three jewels who do not betray you is the practice of a Bodhisattva. The suffering of the lower realms, so difficult to bear, is what the Buddha taught to be the fruit of negative actions. Therefore, even though the cost of your life, never to commit negative actions is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Happiness in the three realms, like a dew on a blade of grass, is subject to instantaneous fading away. As to strive for the supreme state of liberation that never wavers is the practice of a Bodhisattva. From beginner's time, your mothers have cherished you. If they suffer now, what good is your own happiness? Therefore, in order to liberate an infinite number of sentient beings, cultivating bodhicitta is the practice of a Bodhisattva. All suffering comes from yearning for your own happiness. The perfect Buddhas are born from the intention to benefit others. Therefore, to truly exchange your own happiness for the suffering of others is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Even if someone driven by excessive desire steals all your wealth or incites someone else to steal it, to dedicate to this person your body and all your virtues of 3 times is the practice of a Bodhisattva. If someone cuts off your head, even when you have not done the slightest wrong, through the power of compassion, to take these misdeeds upon yourself is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Should someone slander you and proclaim it in a billion words, to return with a loving heart, to proclaim their good qualities is the practice of a Bodhisattva. If in the midst of a crowd someone expresses your hidden faults and abuses you for them, to bow to them with respect, seeing them as a spiritual friend, is a practice for Bodhisattva. If someone whom you cherish as dearly as your own child takes you for an enemy, then like a mother who loves a sick child, to love that person even more is the practice for Bodhisattva. Even when someone who is your equal or inferior, driven by the arrogance, seeks to disparage you, to place them on the crown of your head with the same respect as you would accord your guru, is the practice of Bodhisattva. Though gripped by the acute poverty and constantly scorned by others, stricken by terrible illness and possessed by evil spirits, to take upon yourself the negativities and suffering of every being, and never to get discouraged, is the practice of Bodhisattva. Though you may be famous and prominent, someone to whom others bow, though you amass riches like that of a god of wealth, to see that worldly splendor has no essence, and thus to be without arrogance is the practice of Bodhisattva. If you have not pacified the enemy of your own anger, comparing opponents is only making them multiply. Therefore, with the army of loving kindness and compassion, to tame your own mind is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Sensual pleasures are like salt water. The more you partake of them, the more your craving will increase. Therefore, when something arouses attachment, to abandon immediately is the practice of a Bodhisattva. All appearances are your own mind, and mind itself primordially transcends all mental fabrications. Knowing this, and to remain free from apprehending the signs of subjects and objects is the practice of a Bodhisattva. When I encounter objects that please your mind, like rainbows in the summer season, though they seem beautiful, not to view them as real, give attachment to them is the practice of a Bodhisattva. All suffering is like the death of your child in a dream. To take such delusive appearances as true, how exhausting. Therefore, whenever you encounter unpleasant circumstances, to see them as deception is the practice of a Bodhisattva. If those who aspire to enlightenment willingly give up their bodies, what need is there to mention material objects? Therefore, with no hope of reward or benefit, to give with generosity is a practice for Bodhisattva. If lack of discipline prevents you from benefiting yourself, then your wish to benefit others is just a joke. Therefore, to observe discipline with no longing for worldly existence is the practice of a Bodhisattva. For a Bodhisattva who seeks the wealth of virtue, every perpetrator of harm is like a precious treasure. Irritation towards the enemy, to cultivate patience is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Shravakas and Pradik Buddhas who strive for their benefit alone exert efforts as if to extinguish a fire burning on their heads. To cultivate joyous effort, the wellspring of positive qualities, is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Such an insight, perfectly endowed with shamatha, completely conquers all afflictions. Knowing this and cultivating meditative concentration that transcends the four formless states is the practice of a Bodhisattva. The practice of the first five perfections, but without wisdom cannot achieve perfect enlightenment. Equipped with skillful means and cultivating the wisdom of non-conceptualizing the spheres is the practice of Bodhisattva. If you do not analyze your own faults, you might put on the dharmic facade while behaving in a non-dharma way. Therefore, to continue to analyze your faults and then discarding them is the practice of a Bodhisattva. If compelled by your own afflictions, you speak of the faults of other Bodhisattvas, you yourself will degenerate. Therefore, never citing the faults of those who have entered the Mahayana path is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Desire for gain and services leads to mutual arguments, and activities of listening, reflecting, meditating decline. Therefore, to relinquish attachment to the households of friends, relatives, and benefactors is the practice of Bodhisattva. Harsh words disturb the minds of others and denigrate. Therefore, to give a harsh and unpleasant speech towards others is the practice of a Bodhisattva. Once you become accustomed to afflictions, they are hard to undermine with antidotes. Therefore, with the remedial weapons of mindfulness and introspection, to forcefully eliminate afflictions such as attachment, the moment they arise is the practice of a Bodhisattva. In brief, whatever you are, and whatever you do, always examine the state of your mind. Continuously working for the welfare of others is the practice of a Bodhisattva. To dedicate the merits thus accumulated through these efforts towards enlightenment with a wisdom free of concept of three spheres in order to eliminate the suffering of all infinite beings is the practice of a Bodhisattva. By relying on the words of genuine masters, I explain the meaning of thought taught in the sutras, tantras, and treatises in the form of these 37 practices of a bodhisattva to benefit those who wish to train on the bodhisattva path. Because my intelligence is less and my learning is meager, I lack linguistic skills to please the scholars, yet since they are based on sutras and the teachings of the genuine masters, I believe these practices of a bodhisattva are flawless. Nevertheless, since the vastness of Bodhisattva content is difficult to fathom by someone like me with an inferior intellect, I pray to the genuine masters to consider with patience all my flaws such as contradiction, incoherence, and so forth. By virtue of the merit gathered here, and by the power of a conventional and ultimate bodhicitta, may all sentient beings become like the benefactor Avalokiteshvara, who dwell neither in the extreme of samsara nor in that of solitary peace. Okay. Okay, we are on yesterday we were done with 15 done. We're now on 16. Thank you. Okay, what we do is that before we do the text, we will quickly meditate on emptiness. We'll quickly do a meditation, short meditation, emptiness. Ready? This is going to be guided meditation, and it's not always that the meditation emptiness should necessarily be guided. It's not necessary. In fact, we should be able to we should be able to do the meditation emptiness on your own. When you're by yourself, you should be able to do the meditation emptiness. And if we, not only you, myself included, if we're able to learn this, then the benefit is that when you are on the aeroplane or in the car, on the bus, or when you're taking a walk, you can think of emptiness. You can meditate emptiness. And then so once you get a little bit of experience of emptiness, you can share this, mentally share this with all the other beings. Failing to see this, then all the mental problems arise. Stress, anxiety, anguish, laziness, everything comes because of this, that the seeing things object real. So now this is liberating. This will liberate us from all the miseries. And of course, this medicine, this panacea, the dose of this medicine should be taken on a daily basis. Okay. So with this in mind, today we'll meditate on emptiness of the self. This morning we did meditation on the self. We do the same once more. And there's the manual, which is referred to as the 4 essentials to establish emptiness. And the 4 essentials to establish emptiness is very important. For the time being, if we get little time, later on, seems like we will get time. The text will not take much time for us to complete. If we do get time, we'll go through the 4 essentials to establish emptiness. Is there anybody who likes to remind me? Okay, Pinzola and Sharibema, Indrajitji, 3 of you. Okay, good. So, if we get a little spare time, and then also I like to invite your questions. So you can give the questions to Sonamla written. That's always better, because last minute, your questions are mostly about the follow-ups. Follow-ups meaning, somebody asks a question, I follow up from this. This is just meaningless. because which means that you did not really think. You just randomly, whatever thought comes to you, you ask. Instead, if you think in advance, if the best would be, those questions were lingering in your mind for many years, for last 1 year, for the last 1 month, at least the last few days, 2 to 4 days. If these questions they jot it down and they give it to me, that would be very good. Rather than just sit here, listen to somebody else's question, I give the answer, and then another thought come to you. This is just a random visitor question, right? So this is not really appreciated. Okay, so I informed this already yesterday, I'm expecting at least some questions today. Only one. Okay, so the questions, and the point is that your questions will be very helpful for all of us. This is going to take away for me. This is a takeaway for all of us. And your questions, if it's so good that the answer, you don't get the adequate answer, even that is better, because that this would keep your mind stimulating, and all of us. It's not only just one person, not only you, not only me, but all of us hear this question, and this is how we grow. Finally, that how to get away from the laziness, how to get away from our bad tendencies, is by, say, the bringing about the revolutionary behaviors, or let's say the behaviors, thought processes, which can have a breakthrough experience, which thinks very differently from how we've been thinking. For this we require incredibly sharp intelligence. And these questions will help us to sharpen our intelligence. And the intelligence that we have at the moment is not the full degree, the use of the potential that you have. This is not your full intelligence, it's a part of it. And how to let the full intelligence, complete intelligence that we have, to manifest complete in full form, is by giving chance to yourself to activate these. And for example, these studies will help us to activate your intelligence. And so wise people go after these studies rather than just trivial things. So these texts are so precious. Okay, so with this in mind, I'm expecting questions from you. Okay, so this morning what we do is the emptiness meditation on the basis of what I call as the 5-point emptiness meditation, 5-point. And there's no way you will not find this as a 5-point meditation manual. This is what I formulated on the basis of meeting with different people, and people, some of them who are already exposed to the emptiness meditation, some of them who are least exposed, but just learn a little bit in few days. To accommodate all of them, I see that this would be good. This is my own formulation, but of course the contents are coming from very standard teachers, from the Buddha, from the great teachers. How I put them, just compile them in a best system to make things easy for the people. Okay, so the 5 points. Number 1 is the self. Number 2, 6 elements. Number 3, 2 questions. Then number 4, space-like meditative equipoise of the space-like emptiness. Number 5, post-meditative experience of the illusion-like emptiness. Number 1, self. Number 2, 6 elements. Number 1, self. Number 2, 6 elements. Number 3, 2 questions. Number 4, meditative equipoise of space-like emptiness. Number 4, meditative equipoise. How do you spell equipoise? EQUIPOISE. Meditative equipoise of space-like emptiness. Meditative equipoise of space-like emptiness. And then finally, post-meditative experience, post-POST, post-meditative experience of illusion-like emptiness. Post-meditative experience of illusion-like emptiness. Number 1, self. Number 2, 6 elements. Number 3, 2 questions. Number 4, meditative experience of the space-like emptiness. Then number 5, post-meditative experience of illusion-like emptiness. Yes. The meditative equipoise, meditative equipoise of space-like emptiness. Space is there, equipoise is there, everything is there. Meditative equipoise of space-like emptiness. Then number 5, post-meditative experience of illusion-like emptiness. Okay. So this is the very easy way of doing it. Otherwise, later on when we learn the 4 essentials, those who can do the 4 essentials, this is the best. What I formulate can become like a subset of the 4 essential meditation on emptiness. So later on, once we learn the 4 essentials, I would highly recommend, don't feel complacent with what I am sharing with you. Instead, we do that on the basis of the 4 essentials, which is very comprehensive, complete, and is also the profound. Okay, so how we do is that I'm going to quickly explain this, and then we'll do the meditation. 1, just think of the self, and the self is just a symbol. You can think of so if you are to meditate on emptiness of somebody who you love, of somebody who you dislike. And actually, if we can meditate on the self, this is extremely effective, because all our emotions are related to self. I'm happy, I'm not happy, and then I don't like to do this. All these are related to I. Say if we see the emptiness of the self, this will make things much easier. Okay. But you can shift this. The first of the 5 topics, the first one, self. You can move it to your friends, you could move to your flower, the food, the cheesecake that you feel so infatuated, you can move to the cheesecake, or you can see something, but undesirable, this is so obnoxious, I don't want to even think of this. So you can think of these things and see the emptiness of this. In other words, our emotional pull and push, involuntary pull and push of the emotions, but the emotions that should be stopped, that we should become stable and strong, not be vulnerable to the emotions. Okay, so first of all, we think about the self and how the self appears as objectively real or as like an illusion. And of course, number 1, it appears objectively real. Then number 2, 6 elements. Subject self to ultimate analysis, then you end up seeing these 6 elements. Say, that is number 2. Stay there in this experience of 6 elements, number 2. Then the next 2 questions. First question, what am I seeing? I'm just seeing the 6 elements. Second question, where is this self? Where is this objective existent self? Nowhere to be, answer is nowhere to be seen. No way to be seen. Okay. When you say no way to be seen, then the emptiness of objective existence of the self appears to your mind. It comes to your mind. When that comes to your mind, stay in this experience. That is the meditative equipoise of the space-like emptiness. Why space-like? Space is marked as something without any obstructions, without any the elaborations, or without any the details. It's just plainly vacuum. There's no the details, the elaborations there. So with this experience, even what we earlier saw as a self, it dissolves like a space. So this is known as meditative equipoise of the space-like emptiness. So this is actually emptiness meditation. And then gradually from this, once you stay in this for some time, then you come out of this practice. Come out, your mind will automatically switch from ultimate analysis to the conversion analysis. It will switch. The moment it switches to the conversion analysis, again the self appears. So, with the step number 4, you come to know that the self does not exist objectively. Objectively is empty. Step number 6, again the self appears as object real. So there's a discrepancy between appearance and the reality. Where there's a discrepancy between appearance and reality is known as illusion. So the self is illusion-like. Number 5, post-meditative equipoise of illusion-like emptiness. So this is how we meditate on emptiness. Good? Okay, now let's meditate. There's going to be guided meditation. So later on, we should be able to, of course, the 5 steps. If you know what these steps are, it becomes very easy for us, right? Just today we'll do it guided, and then the next time, I don't know when, perhaps tomorrow morning, or whenever next happens, we'll do it without being guided. Okay, good? Ready? Just focus your mind on a breath, focus your mind on the breath, and take 3 deep breaths or 7 deep breaths. Just focus your mind on the breath. Okay, just focus on this breath helps us to tame or subdue or calm down our gross mental states, very fluctuating mental states. Okay, now think of the self, yourself. What are you doing? I'm meditating. What is the body doing? My body is a meditative state. And how does the self appear to you? As object real? Or like a dream that your mind is creating it? Of course, object real, objectified. This is known as self-grasping ignorance, believing that the self exists as object real. Okay. How can you know that this perception of the self as object real is self-grasping ignorance, that is not a valid mind? If the self does exist as object real, remember what Arya Nagarjuna said. How do you evaluate this? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? With a similar token of reasoning, if the self who identifies I were to exist objectively, why not I see this self as I go closer to this object? Okay, now step 2. Subject and self-ultimate analysis. You go closer to the object, closer to the self. You end up seeing the thin layer of the skin, the fatty tissues, muscles, cartilages, the whole skeleton, the heart, lungs, liver. None of the solid parts constitute the self. The solid parts constitute the element earth. Element water, 4 liters of blood, which is pumped in and out by the heart with different parts of the body. Element of fire, 2,600 joules of energy. In other words, the body heat. Of course, that is not to be identified as this self. Element of air, 4.6 liters of air there which you breathe in and out through our lungs, through different parts of the body. Element of space, 99.99% of the body is vacuum, space. Element of consciousness or mind. Okay, what are you seeing now? Subjective self-ultimate analysis. What do you see? You come too close to the object. I just see the 6 elements. Step number 3, 2 questions. What do you see? I'm seeing 6 elements. In the ultimate analysis, second question, where is the self, which you earlier saw as objective real? Nowhere to be seen. Stay in this experience. Just the 6 elements. Look around the 6 elements. Look at the 6 elements. Nowhere to be seen as the self. Around the 6 elements, separate from 6 elements. Nowhere to be seen as the self. The self is nowhere to be seen. About his experience, the self is nowhere to be seen. In the eyes of ultimate analysis. Doesn't mean the self doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the eyes of ultimate analysis. Stay in this experience. The self in the eyes of ultimate analysis is seen like a space, nowhere to be identified as this object or that object. It simply disappears. This is upon a birth form, meditative equipoise of the space like emptiness. We need to stay in this experience of the non-affirming negative nature, non-affirming negative nature of this emptiness. Even the elements should not come to your mind. There's just the absence, just the emptiness, that the self disappears in the ultimate analysis. Just the absence, the disappearance, the vacuity of the self in this ultimate analysis. This is non-affirming negative. Emptiness should be seen as non-affirming negative. The moment the aggregate, the elements, the atoms come to your mind, instantly emptiness disappears. Emptiness is no more there. You are not made your emptiness. So this non-affirming negative should come to mind. If it disappears from your mind, again you ask the question, what are you seeing? I'm seeing 6 elements. Where is the self? It's not there. The moment it is not there, although the experience of emptiness will come, it's a very fleeting moment, and it can be reflected in the form of, it can be seen, experienced in the form of a tingling sensation on your body. Cold waves can flow, a tinge of fear can come in your mind. In some cases, a very tranquil, peaceful experience can come at the core of your heart. Okay, just imagine that you are coming out of this meditation, which means that your mind it shifts from the ultimate analysis to the conventional analysis. What do you see? Again, the self comes back. How? It comes back as a bit of objective real. So, with step 4, you're 100% sure that the self is empty of objective reality. Step 5, the self appears objective real. There's a discrepancy between appearance and reality. The reality as number 4 is empty objective reality. Number 5, self appears objective reality. So therefore, how the self appears to this mind could mention analysis, there's a discrepancy there. But this discrepancy, we describe that as illusion like emptiness. Post-meditative experience of the illusion like emptiness. This self is like illusion. If your meditation step 1, 2, 3, 4, these two are very successful and stable, invariably with the step 5, illusion-like nature of the self will appear to you. You will see the self is so like it's something non-tangible illusion. Okay, good. Come out of your meditation, come out. Good. Now let's turn to page 4 of the textbook. Page 4, verse number 16. Okay. Okay. When what is this? When one views the arising of illusions or the dissolution of the illusions, one who recognizes illusions is not confused. One who do not thoroughly, those who do not thoroughly crave. Okay, so this is once you can see difference between how our natural mind, self-grasping ignorance, views things as object real, and you know that the self-grasping ignorance is actually ignorance. Subject and self. Okay, if the self-grasping ignorance is, if the self-grasping is not ignorance, then the self as seen by the self-grasping should tally with anyone? Tell with reality. Reality to be decided by what? To be decided by ultimate analysis. To be decided by ultimate analysis. So if the self does exist objectively, as seen by the self-grasping ignorance, then the self should be seen as objective reality by the ultimate analysis. But on the contrary, when subjecting self to ultimate analysis, we see that the self is nowhere to be seen. So there's a contradiction there. Seeing the contradiction, then the self appears, invariably it appears objective real, but you say in real sense, subject to ultimate analysis, it is objectively empty. So there's a discrepancy there. But the discrepancy, we describe that as illusion. So, 16. When one views the arising of illusions, meaning that the arising of the self, arising of what? Today is 7 or 8? 7th of November? Arising of 7th of November is illusion. It is illusion-like, to be technically correct, as illusion-like. Ceasing of the 6th of November 2023 as illusion-like. Ceasing, arising is illusion-like. When one views the arising of illusion, the arising in the form of illusion, or the dissolution meaning ceasing in the form of illusion, one who recognizes illusions, one who recognizes that everything is like illusion, they are not confused. So those who see things as objective real, not as illusion-like, they are confused. Okay. So one who recognizes illusions is not confused. Those who do not, and once you see that things are like illusion, so the craving stops. Craving stops. Those who do not thoroughly crave, craving stops. Okay. Same that for example, say our habitual tendencies, like, but say you are diabetic and you see cheesecake, instantly your mouth waters, right? You agree or not agree? Most of you are young, so therefore you don't have diabetic problem, right? Young people, they don't have any idea. So anyone who is diabetic, 1, myself 2, 3, anyone else? Okay. So, the Jitindraji, what is your reaction to his cheesecake? Okay, so you like to eat it, but you can't eat it, right? You stop, you deliberately restrain. Okay. In fact, there was a friend of mine in the morning ritual. The morning ritual is that his table, breakfast table, on one side is a stack of medicines. Allopathic, homeopathy, Ayurveda, and I don't know, 3 are there. Allopathic with Unani, I don't know. He has 3. 3 I know. He has what is this? This is allopathic medicine. For what? For my diabetes. What is this? This for homeopathy. For what? For my diabetes. What is this? This for Ayurveda. For what? This is for my diabetes. And then what is this? What is this? This Coca-Cola. Why Coca-Cola? I like it. You're getting it? This is his ritual. This is his ritual. Breakfast table ritual. On the stack of medicines there and Coca-Cola is there. This is ritual. You getting it? Okay. The point is that so what it says here is that if we see things as illusion, then naturally our craving will subside. You getting it? So therefore, it's so important for us in this life to counteract the habitual tendencies. What do you mean the habitual tendencies? Cravings, right? Habitual tendencies. Okay, just tell me any kind of habitual tendencies. Or don't identify habitual tendencies somebody else, yourself, right? We are good in saying that oh, this person is like this, that person is like this. Our own habitual tendencies. Anyone? Quick, yes.
I like to eat dark chocolate whenever I'm stressed.
Okay, when in stress, dark chocolate. Okay, tendency for that. Anyone else? Yes. Okay. Habitual tendency of irritation, the irritation arising when? Vanashiri? When? When things don't go my way, right? Anyone else? Okay, Kabir? Okay, so the desire for tea when stressed. Anyone else? Yes. That's good. His tendency is good actually. This is amazing. Don't take that as a bad habit. It's a very good habit. Yeah, to motivate yourself. It's very important. Anyone else? Yes.
Feeling some agitation coming to the breath.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm saying is the tendencies, bad tendencies that we have. Yes. Procrastination, like what?
Usually around
Studying work. Here in Root Institute, no, Deer Park, any?
not for class, no, I've enjoyed class, but I tend to read my notes, procrastinating.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes. Okay. Yes. Why you snooze it? Okay, so meanwhile, you also want to get up, right? No, it doesn't matter. I'll just switch it off and then and then 10 hours, 12 hours. No, not like that. Okay, let me for 5 minutes. Right? After that, I'll get up. Again, 5 minutes, it snooze. Again, another 5 minutes. Okay, anyone else? Yes.
When I don't understand, I also don't know how to do the mindfulness.
Okay, when you don't understand,
So disappointed in myself that I lie down and write my notes.
you fall asleep.
Not fall asleep, but like
Just lie down.
get depressed that I don't know how to do that particularly. So I lie down and write my notes.
Just stay there without no sleep coming. Sleep comes.
Sleep notes not coming.
Look, this continue. Vision, thought coming randomly? No? Okay, anyone else? Yes. Oh, tendency, the one is assumption, yes. Assumption is a serious problem within us. Very serious problem within us, assumption, right? And then assumption goes worse, it goes to extreme, it becomes judgmental. Being judgmental. This extreme disease is a disease. Becoming judgmental is a disease. Okay, good. So whereas and tell me why you think, for example, let's say out of these, let's say what's your name? Manidipa. What Manidipa said is very true in most of the cases. In most of the cases. How many of you agree with Manidipa? Is your personal experience? Raise hands. What Manidipa said is a personal experience. Raise hands. Did you give the mobile snooze? Hey, our lawyer? No? Never. You never put the mobile on, not mobile, what? Alarm clock. Never on. Since childhood.
For many years, maybe not since childhood, but for the past.
Oh, you wake up 10 minutes. Okay. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, these things are there. Rare, right? Most of the people, it doesn't happen like this. Right? Who is the money diva? Who follow the money divaism? Money divaism, right? Okay. So we also I remember when I was, I think, age 16 or 17, when I was in class 10. In those days, all these mobiles were totally non-existent, like 35 years ago, totally non-existent. And then we have the symbol, what? Table clock. And even the electronic table clock that I have, many of the boys, they did not have. I'm very particular to get up, but being very young, needs lots of sleep, and the alarm was ringing, tick, tick, beep, 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 and I was hearing this in my dream, right? And then in the dream I switched off, and still it's making sound, beep, 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 right? So what do you do now? I already switched off, so maybe now the clock is what do you call it? So the clock must have not malfunctioning. So what I did is that I took off the battery. Still it makes beep, 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 beep. Still battery off. Still it makes the sound beep, 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 beep. What do you do now? It's so disturbing. Then I took the clock out and smashed it. Still it makes beep, beep, beep. Right? Why? Because it was all happening in the dream. And dream is affected by external mobile, the clock, and the clock, of course, battery is not taken out, not switched off, no smash outside, right? And the sound is coming from the outside, that is triggering this dream being so disturbing. Okay, so whereas the Manidipa story is slightly different. It's not that happening in the dream. You wake up and still you press it, 5 minutes, snooze, right? Okay, so tell me. So, I can see that Manidipa, your presentation is very clear, so which represents many of our habitual tendencies. Tell me, why did you last night, before you go to bed, why you put it at what o'clock? 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock? 6 o'clock. This is 6 o'clock. So last night, why did you not put it at 6:05? You thought that I can wake up. Not I wanted plus I can wake up at 6. Right? And then the morning you cannot wake up. Right? You woke up, but you put it in snooze. Why? Why there's a discrepancy between what you were thinking now and what you thought last night? Why there's a discrepancy? Why? What is the discrepancy? Okay. So in other words, last night, why did you want to get up at 6? Why? Do something, right? I want to do something at 6, so I have a lot of time, right? Earlier, you get up, then you have more time in your hand. So the next day, so more time means pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling. Oh, I have so much of time if I can get up early. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling. Pleasant feeling. And the next morning, right, then in the cozy bed, right, getting up is pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling. Unpleasant feeling. You're getting it? Being in bed, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling. Pleasant feeling. So the last night's pleasant feeling was a memory. Now pleasant feeling is real. So that outshines the pleasant feeling you had yesterday. You're getting it? So therefore this pleasant feeling makes you to act according to what triggered this pleasant feeling. What does that trigger the pleasant feeling? Being in the bed. How to be in the bed? And still you want to get up, so you put in snooze. You have to have both. And both doesn't happen. Right? Okay, so this is how our mind works. So if we know all this mechanism, for example, this is in a form of laziness, procrastination. So, if you can see that, okay, even the pleasant feeling that I'm feeling today, by in the bed, this is like a dream. If you see that like illusion, then craving for the pleasant feeling will stop. Once the craving for this pleasant feeling stops, then the next feeling will take over. What's the next feeling? Feeling out of purpose, not out of pleasant feeling. Feeling out of purpose, out of more time to do something good. That will take over. Because the first one, which is very overpowering, is already smashed by the wisdom of emptiness. Then the next pleasant feeling, what's the next pleasant feeling? Out of seeing a purpose. That will take over. So that will make you get up. That's true. This is a good question. The purpose. Purpose for what? Purpose, gradually say that you're talking about the emptiness. Emptiness, right? Not like somebody else. Oh, I have exam to study, right? Exam to study. Then, in this case, if the emptiness is not there, your purpose is very different. For those people with the emptiness, the purpose is so profound. So the purpose is eventually to experience emptiness to the fullest. So getting up early, you look for your time, and then that too. How did you do that? By seeing the emptiness of this pleasant feeling. You always start with the emptiness, and then you see the benefit of this. And in fact, the feeling of the pleasant feeling because of the sleeping in the bed, and the feeling of the pleasant feeling that you get out of the emptiness experience, pleasant feeling is far more profound. You're getting it? And this will come, keep sleeping, it will not happen. You have to get up. So this pleasant feeling will multiply even more. So that's the purpose. And then study all these things. Like to get away from all the miseries, stress. Then think about if the Manidippa, if you're given a choice, right? Be in a bed for another 10 minutes. Pleasant feeling. Versus earthquake, and you hold everything will be shattered, and your bed, everything will be shattered, right? You'll die. If you are really given the two scenarios, which will you choose? You'll burn not in bed, run away, right? Because the earthquake will hit me. So, unpleasant feeling will override. The other one, then this pleasant feeling you will not feel attached to. This is one way. With wisdom, emptiness is not overriding. It is, that pleasant feeling seen as illusion-like. These two are very different. So, for example, choice between, let's say, let's ask this to Dorji. Let's say, a sweet taste of a small candy, and the sweet taste of a incredibly brilliant cheesecake, right? So if you're given choice, okay, Jinerji, you choose only either one simple sweet candy or the whole cheesecake, delicious fresh cheesecake. Which will you go for? If you are not diabetic. No, you can only have one cheesecake. You getting it? Okay, Manidiba, right? So this is not seeing the candy taste as dreamlike. So it is how you let go of this is because you see this as inferior, smaller, lesser in comparison with the cheesecake taste. So it is through this that you override the other one, but you mentally you could not still give up fully. But when you see it's dreamlike, you give up fully. You're getting it? Let go of it fully without any mental strain. Okay, this is benefit. And then the final goal is to wake up from the sleep of ignorance completely. You're getting it? Okay. So, therefore, the wisdom of emptiness, if we get, it's not that easy to get it. Even the wisdom of emptiness, some people, they are not at all interested in this. Either because of misguided, you meet with the wrong teachers. They don't encourage you to go into this. Even if you talk about it, they'll say, what is this emptiness? It's totally nihilism, Nagarjuna, nihilism, idealism. Then you're totally discouraged from this. Very sad, number one. Number two, the other extreme is that Arya Nagarjuna studied for 3 days or 1 week. Yeah, I understood emptiness. I know emptiness, right? This is one extreme. And both do not get emptiness. The point is, if you do get a glimpse of emptiness, from this, you see how powerful our negative emotions are. So you can see that these are all baseless, wrong. But now, one is you are acting out of the belief that things objective real. Now we see the emptiness, still it is acting on us. This is because of the tendencies. There are two things. One is because of the belief, and number two is the tendencies. You know this is wrong, still the tendency kicks in. For example, I remember one of my friends who was a brilliant engineer from many years ago, like 30, 40 years ago. And in those days, to be an engineer is such a privileged thing for you to say that I'm an engineer. And the pay-wise, other people, what they get, you get like 10 times, 20 times you get as an engineer, young engineer. But unfortunately, he slips into a bad habit of drinking. And one day, otherwise this is not his style to talk, to be cordial. No, he's very bright and he's just lost in his own thing because he is actually doing so well in his life. And then one day, I received a call from him, and he said, Geshé, you have to help me. No, this is not how he talks. You have to help me. I said, what happened? Again, I'm being drowned. Please take me. Help me to get out of this. So what I'm saying is that he knows that this is not good. He knows that this is not good. Now the belief is not there. This is good. This belief is not there. Now what is making him go continuously into this habit is the tendencies. So the tendencies can kick in, right? So now how to undo the tendency? How to undo the tendency? If you know that this is wrong, wholeheartedly you know this is wrong, still the tendencies kick in. How to undo that? Anyone? 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 Yes, Jitendraji.
It's opinion. I think the atheist and the spiritual tendencies are so hardwired in your mind. It just kicks in automatically without you even knowing.
So how to undo it?
How I do it is like knowing it is my
Number one. Then, but still it does not undo.
and still you have to act on it. Okay, how can I stop this one?
No, how?
By distracting or something yourself.
One is distraction.
Some sort of distraction. Okay.
Anyone else? Are there any other thing? Okay, Micah?
I was thinking about the first thing, like being honest with yourself, like
Be honest with yourself.
seeing it like I'm doing this again.
Yes, if you're not honest, then
Then you got yourself excuses maybe. Oh, I deserve the cheesecake because I had that day before.
so what? This is the way.
So I think being honest is the first thing.
No, I know, but how to build this honesty? Oh, so, okay, you will ask me, be honest. I said, yeah, I know it's honest, it's so good to be honest, but I can't be honest. Please tell me how to, teach me how to be honest.
Asking yourself questions.
Yeah, I ask this question always.
Asking others.
Yeah? Okay, anyone else? Yes, Mike.
Yeah, kind of in the same way. So of the awareness, kind of in the same way.
Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware this is bad. I'm aware, right?
Being able to have a new tendency to replace the old tendency.
Yeah, I want to, but it's not coming, right? It's not coming, right? I want to be the best. I'm the best. I'm a very good engineer. I'm not happy with it. I want to become a Nobel laureate in physics, but it's not happening. I always, I don't get hold of the books. Okay. Say it again. Take it slow. Oh yeah, I'm slow. Yes. That's a very good hope, I should be slow. Yes, I'm very slow. There's no urgency. Thank you. Now what should I do? I'm slow. Yes. How to reduce it? Please tell me. No, sometimes from 10 I make it like 9, and suddenly it becomes like today maybe it's okay because I have to go slow, right? So today is okay, 12 is fine, right? Slow, right? Okay. So they say if you're making up the pen nib or a knife, whatever, heat it, right? And you have to make it, smash it to make it flat, whatever. Give a shape while it is hot, red hot. Oh, make it too slow, right? The fire will go away. It becomes very stiff. Beat the metal while it is still hot. This is the expression. Don't be too slow. You getting it? Okay. Ajgasnala.
I think initially trying to stay away from the stimulus triggers you to that behavior or tendency.
Okay, stay away from the.
Friends or the alcohol shop or like the feeling of sadness.
So who will help me do that? Because I always, happen to pass by when I go to the office, there's alcohol shop there. One, right? And go other way around is like 10 kilometers, right? And then okay, so other way around, there's another friend who also drinks. It's not with alcohol, but the friends there, he said, hey, you're always working so hard, you're so boring person, right? Say, what are you doing? I'm thinking of riches, I'm thinking of attending something. Attending what? Retreat. What is retreat? Where? Deer Park. What is that? Is the pub going there? Is there a pub? No pub. What is that? Retreat. What is retreat? Bodhicitta. What is bodhicitta? Meditation. What is, we always say meditation. Come. This is my friend. Okay. Okay, yes, Jimela. I would say the best solution is let the person stay with him. Stay with him, that's good enough, right? That's good enough. People, the person will not even have a thought of all these things. They will be entertained by him. That's the best thing. Unfortunately, he's only one, right? Yes. Eyes. Yes, yes, yes. That's true. That's true. I agree. Yes, I agree. Yes, yes. Okay, it's not only with the drinks, it's with the gadgets. Nowadays, the gadgets. This mobiles. This is the poison. This is the poison. Right? It's not only the drinks nowadays, it's the gadgets. This is worse. This is killing many. For all the, what is that? All these the like what? Online dating, online, the girlfriend, boyfriend fighting, then marriage is all happening, and then all the nasty things happening because of the gadgets, right? Becoming so addicted. So how to get away from this? These are all the questions that we have to really think of. You're getting it? Even I would say, even the really experts, they find it very difficult. So, if we can think of first, instead of tackling somebody else, tackle ourselves. Let us tackle ourselves. This is the first thing. You're getting it? First, let's tackle ourselves. So just see what is your weakness. Think of your own weakness. Think of your own weakness. And see who are they, who is strong with that respect, who's not weak. He's not weak with respect to area where I'm weak in. Think of that. And learn from that person. Then find the emptiness and bodhicitta. These two are the best of solutions. These are the best of the solutions. You getting it? Okay. So, where 16 done? No, done. Done. Okay. 17. Those who see, there's a typo there. Those who instead of sees, those who see. Those who see with the mind that existence is like a mirage and illusion. That is, when one learns how to subject things to ultimate analysis, to discover that objectively nothing exists, then you see the discrepancy between appearance and reality. You start to see things as mirage and an illusion. Okay, this is very precious. For all of us, very precious. So if you don't get this, no matter what we do, forget about Buddhahood, even nirvana will not be attained. So just see how to learn how to see things, subject things to ultimate analysis. Like, right, say for example, the five sensual objects, how they're like dream. And then this is one thing that I want to share with you. That way it also helps me. This is very good. Let's say that let's say the cheesecake, and then we apply this to anything else. First the cheesecake. The one time in Delhi University, there was the talk by a very renowned professor, and after the talk, there was lunch, and at the end of the lunch, there was the cheesecake. And one lady professor, she went to get a cheesecake, and she asked me, "Hey, you are not going to have the dessert." I said, "I'll not have." And she said, "Why? It's very delicious." I said, "I know, it makes me fat." Right? It makes me fat, so therefore I'll not want to have it. And then she said something. Okay. Actually, I'm also not supposed to be eating this. I also become fat. But I cannot restrain it. It's so delicious. And she said that I like to learn how to restrain from these. Then I shared. I said that, say you crave for the cheesecake. Cheesecake is your object of craving. So you are actually not craving for the cheesecake. With the cheesecake, if the cheesecake is rotten cheesecake, then instantly your craving will stop. It's not a cheesecake per se. It's a fresh cheesecake that you're craving for. Next, that's even not the fresh cheesecake. Say the cheesecake, first bite of the cheesecake, and the 50th bite of the cheesecake, which is more delicious? First bite is more delicious, right? It's not the cheesecake per se. If the cheesecake per se is what you crave for, first bite and the 50th bite, there should be no difference. Both the cheesecakes, you should be craving for both. But it's not happening. It's related to your why the first cheesecake is delicious, why the 50th bite is not delicious. Why not? Anyone? Yes, why not? Why? Okay, the first bite and second bite, right? So, Tashanam Gil. So, Tashanam Gil, morning breakfast, who's taking care of the breakfast? First bite, the remaining bite you take away from him. Because once you have the first bite, finished, right? So, the second bite is not delicious. Because first bite you already have the taste. Even the second bite is also delicious. 50th bite is not delicious. Why not? Anyone? Anyone? Yes, over there.
Yeah, so the law of diminishing marginal utility. So the first bite, our craving is at its highest peak. In the second bite, the craving reduces. Third bite.
So why is it reducing? Why? You have to explain this law. Why? Anyone? Yes, Kabir? Why degrees? Okay, so let's say that did you all follow what Tashnamgil, your name? Shrikant and Kabir, what they said. So basically what is happening is that there's the hormonal, say the activities happening, plus mental activities happening. These two are, say, side by side. They mutually enhancing, mutually helping each other, right? Finally, the point is that, say, from within inside, say, the pleasant feeling is a mental state. Pleasant feeling, that is reducing. Pleasant feeling is reducing. So these external factors, they'll help us to trigger the pleasant feeling within us, mental. Say the cheesecake is purely external, then it triggers the internal mechanism, like the movement of the neurotransmitters and so forth. Okay, the hormones, they affect the neurotransmitters in the brain. So these movement becomes less. Then the corresponding mental activity, say the desire, that is getting reduced, or the pleasant feeling is pleasant, the tactility is reducing. So with this, the desire becomes less. Okay, so what I'm saying is that it's not really the cheesecake. Even the fresh cheesecake is not the case there. Because with the fresh cheesecake, the first bite and the last bite, 50th bite, first bite is you feel so much craving, the 50th bite, it makes you throw up. It makes you like throwing up. Okay, so there, if you still insist, the person will be very angry. In the first case, if you give, right, person will be very happy. 50th bite, if you give, the person will be very angry. Aversion is already built up. So there is not the cheesecake. It's about the feeling inside you, feeling. So you are not actually attached to the external factor, cheesecake. It's the feeling that you're attached to, which is triggered by the external cheesecake, feeling. Next is the feeling. So from the cheesecake, it moves to the fresh cheesecake. It moves to the pleasant sensation within you. So this pleasant sensation is processed by the mental phenomena, mental feeling. You're getting it? So if you can see you see that finally it goes down there in this. And then you see that this feeling, we said that aggregate feeling. Could not you remember? Aggregate feeling is the one which decides all our actions, including tendencies, habits. It's all decided by the feeling. You're getting it? This feeling. So if you can see the emptiness, this feeling. So what we said is that emptiness of the mind, meditating on the emptiness of the mind, emptiness of feeling, this is so important. If we can learn how to practice it, and not just learn, actually practice it to see that even the feeling is like a dream. Wow, that's amazing. What a freedom. Then all our habitual tendencies will just stop. It's an extremely great liberation for us. Liberation from the tendencies. So the point is that we have to learn how to do that. Once you learn this, then you have to practice it on a daily basis. You're getting it? And I would be so happy if I would see somebody who has actually learned this technique of seeing the emptiness of the feeling, emptiness of the mind, and then having some time on his own, not wasting time going here, going there, going here, going there, rather actually meditating on this, then this person can really become a realized being. This is the realized being. Okay, so this is so precious. So with this, then you can guide, you can really help others how to counteract your emotions. Okay, good. 17. Those who see with their mind that existence is like a mirage. The existence is like a mirage and an illusion. They will not be corrupted, and they will not be corrupted meaning they will not be affected. So this word is very strong, corrupted. They will not be affected, they will not be defiled, they will not be tainted by the views of grasping at objective beginning and objective end. Let me repeat it. They will not be affected by the views, the wrong views of grasping at the objective beginning and objective end. Number 18. Those who impute, instead of impute, go for those who refine. This word would be better. Those who refine. R-E. I think what's your name? Muyen. So Muyen, you reification. You read the meaning of this yesterday. So you remember that? The word reification. Reification is a noun and reify is a verb. So here, those who impute, instead of impute, the Tibetan word is it is like takpa. Takpa has two connotations. Impute is also one way, but reify is better. Refine. Those who refine, say the refine, arising and disintegration. Refine has a connotation of adding to the reality. Add something. Refine. Or in other words, like exaggerate. Exaggerate meaning you add something which is not really there. So refine, arising. What is added? Intrinsicality is added. Those who refine the intrinsic arising and intrinsic disintegration with relation to conditioned things. Conditioned things meaning things that are actually dependent originated. Conditioned by dependent origination. They do not understand well the movement of the wheel of dependent origination. If you refine objective existence, then you project independent existence, because of which you will not see dependent origination. Whereas in reality, the whole world is operating in the form of wheel of dependent origination. For example, why today the weather is good? Why here the weather is good? Because there's no factor to pollute this around. Why there's no factor? Because the burning of the staples is not happening around. Why there's no staple burning? Because the farmers, they don't burn it here. Why they don't burn it? Because there are some other ways to tackle it. Why they don't some other ways to tackle it? You go like this, is they endlessly, you see that it's like a wheel. There's no beginning, there's no end. Well, there's no beginning. Dependent origination is like this wheel. Where you keep going like this, you will never come to the point, the first point. There's no beginning when there is dependent origination. So therefore it's like a wheel. If we see things as objectively real, then we cannot see the dependent origination, how dependent origin operates in the form of a wheel. 19, that which has originated due to this and that has not done so as its own being. So when we see that things exist by dependence on this or that, so 3 levels of dependent origination, what are they? 3 levels of dependent origination, what are they? Tenzin Lektublam, 3 levels of dependent origination. Indrajitji, 3 levels of dependent origination. 3 levels of dependent origination. Kabir. Yes. Dependence on mere metal. Very good, thank you. Okay, we need to have these on our fingertips. Sharibama, you have on your fingertips. What are they? Yes, good. Causal dependent origination. There are 2 ways of saying this. One is causal dependent origination. Number 2, dependent origination of the wholes depends on the parts. Very good, thank you. Okay, 3 levels of dependent origination. With this, we see that the number 19, that which has originated due to this and that. Meaning that if you see dependent origination, right? Dependent origination means that nothing exists independently. They exist by dependence on this factor, that factor, and so forth. That has not done so as its own being, which means that if things are dependent originated, things cannot exist on its own. You're getting it? Things cannot exist independently or on its own. And that which has not arisen as its own being, underline it, make it intrinsically. Make it intrinsically or by one's own nature. If the arising doesn't happen by one's nature or intrinsically or objectively, how can it be called arisen? You getting it? Okay. Let's say that okay. So yesterday we talked about the production, right? Yesterday we talked about production. And how many of you analyzed it? And here in the class we failed to identify where the production is. Right? At the time of seed, at the time of shoot, or at the time of in-between, we could not find that. Anyone who thought about it later? Yes, one. Okay, you discussed in the optional discussion. So what's the answer? No answer. Okay, still no answer. So from there, okay, let us do one thing. If somebody comes in the form of a ghost, it's actually a prank. Comes in the form of a ghost, right? In the night, you will be scared. You are scared. And suddenly you come to discover that it is Piali, Tenzin Shunden, right? Shunden. Then, right, right, the fear dissolves. right? Why the fear dissolves? Because what you see as a ghost is not a real ghost. You're getting it? It's a facade of the ghost. Facade of a ghost. Okay. So likewise, when we see that the things, okay, for example, let's say, okay, now let's do one exercise, all right? Say, okay, let's say you think of somebody who's you think of somebody who's younger than you, boy or girl, it doesn't matter. Who's younger than you, boy or girl, whatever, right? So we will do it, two things simultaneously, side by side. One is that the person is younger than me. Number two is that this person is male or female or whatever, right? Male or non-male, that's better, right? Is better or not, Micah? For Micah, everything is just amazing. She is in heaven, right? For everything is fine for her, right? That's amazing. Okay, so let's say that the males and non-males, or female and non-females. Let's talk it like this. So think of the person. Okay, so for today, because it's analytical meditation, you can do with eyes closed. Eyes closed. For analytical meditation, there's little exception because your mind is already very active. Okay, now think of that person who's younger than you, perhaps way younger than you. What do you call this? Way younger than you, right? Or male or female, whatever. Okay, now go deeper through ultimate analysis. We see the person in the form of thin layer of skin. Behind that fatty tissues, behind that the muscles, cartilages, the whole skeleton, heart, lungs, the blood, air, the space, and so forth. And even these, what we see as solid parts, and these are nothing but made of cells. Okay, now you see just the pool of cells attached to each other. And these cells, they are made of the nucleus, cytoplasm, cell membrane. And go into the nucleus, you see the chromosomes. You go deeper, you see the DNA molecules. You go deeper, you see the atoms. And none of the atoms are attached to each other. There's a gap there in between atoms. And within the atoms, the nucleus and the electrons, nucleus made of neutrons and protons, and surrounded by the electrons, there's a huge gap there. Okay, just go on that level. Okay. Now you're just seeing a pool of, say, the atoms. Okay, now tell me, which atom is younger and which atom is older? All these atoms came from Big Bang, 15 billion years ago. All these atoms are equally old or equally young, whatever you may call it. They're all the same age. All atoms are the same age. There's no difference in age. They're all the atoms which constitute your body, atoms which constitute the person, the body of the person who you consider is way younger than you. The atoms which constitute the two bodies, they are same age. And none of the atoms are male. None of the atoms is a female. So where is that young man, young women? Where is this male? Where is this female? Okay, just think of that. Okay, come out. So with this, what happens? Okay, stay there, and then see how your mind reacts to the person. Does it react in the same way as how you would react otherwise, as affinity, attached, oh, so young, so healthy, I wish I have the same good body. Do you feel that? That feeling little subsides. Or there's a male, non-male, female, non-female, that also subsides. This concept of the maleness, female, is purely projection by my mind. It's illusion. On the, say, coming too close to object, there's nothing there to identify as male, female, young, old, nothing is there. Yes, yes. Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. Thank you. Okay, it is like Kunal's question, right? So body may be same age. There may not be distinction in terms of male, female on that level. But what about consciousness? The consciousness is even easier. Consciousness, however, the young boy or young girl, the toddler, the consciousness is as old as beginningless time. Our mind, we are all same age on that level. On the consciousness level, we are all same age, right? We are all same age. So we differ in the age with respect to one particular lifetime, right? For example, His Holiness and His Holiness is, say, the reincarnation of His Holiness tutor. Reincarnation was much younger than His Holiness, but the previous life was way older than His Holiness. His Holiness was just like 4 or 5 years old when the tutor was already in his 40s, 50s. But now the reincarnation came and he's way younger than His Holiness today. So, you say, age-wise, if you track back in terms of the consciousness, we are all same age. The younger ones, those below 30, don't think that you are younger than us. Right? Hey, Gunal, don't think that you are younger than me. But conventionally, you are way younger than me. You are getting it conventionally. Right? In the illusion-like nature, you are way younger than me. In the ultimate analysis, same age. Right? Okay, so if that gives you a feeling of, wow, that's amazing. Where is this thing? Young, old. The male, female, on the atomic level, there's no male, female. Where is it? Wow, that's amazing. People fight over so why, there's no male, there's no female, why should people fight? Right? People fight over that, right? All the cheating happens because of this. You agree? Hey, you agree or not agree? All because of this, seeing male, female, these things, the cheating happens. And where's this male? When you look at that on that level, it's just illusion, It's extremely powerful. If you could feel that, then this obsession towards the opposite gender subsides. So this is something that we need to practice more, because that what traps us in samsara primarily is because of this. Primarily because of this. Look at the human beings, animals, even the birds, even the animals, even the insects. Look at this. They are all trapped in samsara because of this. So if you see that the gender is just purely illusion-like, but of course it's not that easy. It's not that you get it, wow, and then the craving stops from the next day. No, it will not happen like this. So what we need to do is that keep practicing on this, keep practicing. It's like once you get the medicine, is it precious or not? For example, we suffer from tuberculosis. So what are the medicines required? Isoniazid, rifampicin, and ethambutol, right? So we need these medicines. Once you get the medicine on the table, are they precious or not? They're very precious. Many people died because of them not getting the right medicines. Many people died. But is it sufficient that you have the medicines on the table? You leave it there. No, I'm getting medicines. You have to take the first dose. Is it sufficient you take the first dose? No, you have to take the second dose. So constant practice required. So if we get this feeling, and then it is so important for us that we should learn how to not to become a slave of our emotions, slave of our feelings. For that we have to, this is the only way, wisdom of emptiness. Otherwise, no matter what Dhamma practice that you do, we become slave to the feelings and the emotions. So wisdom of emptiness this is why this is the liberating path. Are you good? We'll stop here. Tiyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata